Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Way We HNC It. This week is an AFA big one. We've had the final, the national championship, crowned here in Scotland. And this weekend, allegedly, the NFFL Division 1 will return to pitches nationwide. I'm excited to see how that goes for us. And there's been a couple of flag games in America too for us to maybe keep an eye on at some point throughout the show. Have a brief chat about what's been going on in LA. We'll see how things go. Thank you very much for joining us once again. My name is Bez. I'll be your host on this flag football journey that we take once a fortnight or so. And of course, I am joined by my excellently clad colleague, Cammy Wilson. Welcome, Cammy. How are things going on? Lovely backdrop, lovely mug, lovely beard.
Hello, mate. How we doing?
We're good. We are good. And as we start off pretty much every show with these days, it's been a lot going on in the flag football.
Have you recovered from the weekend yet?
Every weekend is different. I got my voice didn't disappear for quite as long as usual, so I guess that's a positive. After the national championship finals, shout out to Chris Nicholas, who not only put me up afterwards, provided me with a lovely abode, but took me to a lovely bakery in the morning, and when we got home that evening, made a macaroni and cheese from scratch at 9 o'clock at night so that we had something to eat. What a legend. I was like, Chris, a meal deal will do. And he was like, no. So yeah, shout out to Chris for his hospitality.
Also, an excellent dog sitter. Just if anyone's looking.
Yeah. Excellent dog sitter, and more than happy to as well. So there you go. Talked up Chris to start the show. But yeah, I guess it's been a week or so now, and I guess we will just start there with the biggest news that we have. Coventry Cougars are national champions for the 25-26 season. They have been national champions 9 times before, and this made it 10 times the second flag football team in the UK to make 10 national championships. First women's side, and like we said in the broadcast, I can't see it happening again anytime soon. I think the next closest teams of competing in either the NFFL or the WFFL across the board have 2, or 3, maybe 2. So in their club histories, so like best case scenario, we don't see that record broken until 2034.
God.
Best case scenario. The fact 2034.
That currently, outside of that team, my team is the closest to it. I need to wait till 2034 to potentially match it.
Yeah, if you don't, yeah, 20. So yeah, what you guys, Cardiff, Smoke, and the Rebels have 2 from back in the day, or 1.
But they no longer.
Button Hookers technically, yeah, they could reappear. Maybe the Rebels had 1.
Rebels had 1 against the Hornets.
Rebels had 1. Yeah, so yeah, unlikely. Feels unlikely.
Don't see it happening anytime soon.
Anytime soon, exactly.
It is. It's quite like me and you growing. Our flag journey started in Scotland, and we heard the rumblings and the legends that was
rumors.
The Kirkcaldy Bulls, and that's just kind of always been like dropped into conversation casually. This team that were dominating BAFA for so long, but now, not only are we like going through a period where it's happening again, we're also part of it. Like we commented on that. We watched it happen.
Yeah, it is a bit of a you were there moment. Like, yeah, we've certainly been on the sidelines for 4 of the last 5, and it is certainly kind of like we said on the stream. It's not something that I'll ever take for granted. Just like, you know, watching it, and from our perspective on the stream, like it was Kyle back when he was the flag commish, was just like, you know, we have no coverage, we have no streaming. Do you want to have a bash at it? And to be honest, Andy Keith and Tree took over the tech side, and it was a handy cam 2 laptops, the podcast, this exact podcast microphone, and 8 hours on the ledge, and it's didn't, you know, it was the first time meeting most of the teams really, and then you fast forward and obviously Comhara are in it. They're being, you know, it's a proper investment made by BAFA to provide coverage of the sport. We're still, you know, privileged enough to be the ones standing on the ledge talking about it. But yeah, and to be honest, unfortunately, because it was Facebook back then and Facebook deletes the lives after a certain period of time, I don't have the 2021 finals anymore. They're gone, you know, and I think the 2022 ones are probably gone as well, unfortunately.
It's
the what did manage to save someone. 23 and obviously 24 are on YouTube, and now 25, 26 are on YouTube. I think the difference in the standard of play, frankly, between then and now is incredible. And obviously we went from the high definition cameras are slightly more higher definition now. You can actually see the other end of the pitch properly. Yeah, like it's been very cool. It's been a very cool experience to just be like hanging out.
It's really full circle for me because we've been friends for a long time. The first thing I ever really done for the podcast was be a cameraman for you at finals. I think I sent you a couple of voice notes here or there to like throw on the podcast. But going from being your mate who done the filming and then ran down to give, there's a photo of me and Kelly Barrett with a tea cake from way back when that came up on my memories a while ago now, but and then to now be alongside you in front of the camera commentating on this, still running down and giving tea cakes.
Some would say the most important job on the day, and I think actually we still do owe, on that note, we still do owe Sarah Ilhack of the Manchester Titans.
We do.
We owe her a can of Iron Brew and a tea cake. So I think maybe NFFL week 1, maybe we'll hand some stuff over to Alan of the Titans or one of the Manchester Titans and see if that makes its way down the motorway for Sarah, because we are a podcast of our word, and while we didn't get it to you on the day, Sarah, we will definitely ensure that your sweet treats are delivered.
On that note, we would like to thank everyone who came to try and say hello to us. And for the last podcast we put up, we said we'd love for you to come and speak to us and say hello. Me and Biz severely underestimated the amount of time that we'd have on our hands and how busy we would be.
I was in such belief that having extra bodies around and like delegated the actual like game coverage, that I would be able to like chill out during the day and take some notes and prepare for the broadcast. And there are 3 or 4 people out there who all know who they are, who came up to me during probably either the plate semis, I think the plate semis, to talk to me and got grunts as answers because I was staring at my phone. I do apologize for that. It was a bit rude, and I didn't mean that. I caught up with everyone later in the day, I think, to kind of smooth it, but yeah, there was a lot going on. The content machine was rolling, and the little press gaggle under the balcony was quite funny with Andy and Rory there as well. It was a good vibe, I think, and hopefully. And obviously, inside Britball were rolling around, and Tartan Touchdown were rolling around, and Katie was rolling around with a camera, and more team social medias and stuff. It was cool. The amount of eyes, I think, on the just on the day itself is incredible. And like the post we put out, I'm fully prepared to be proven wrong. If anyone has data to prove us wrong, I'll quite happily accept it. But with the data available from ourselves and from BAFA, we are incredibly confident that of either the NFFL and WFFL, that is the most watched live stream in flag as far as national finals go. Here in the UK, with the caveat that there may be data out there that we can't see. So if you have data to disprove us, let us know, because I want to know what the record is more than anything else. I want to know what the record. Like, give me a target. Come on, give me a target. I want to know what the record is, and then because as the Cougars have shown us, they're there to be broken. So you let us know. You let us know what the records are, and we'll go for it.
I think what sums it up quite nicely is Katie, who came along on her own time through the day. First, she took some photos of the Colts a few years ago, but she's been photographing Contact for over a decade now. And she randomly messaged me about Flag of New Year. I was like, I want to try it, I want to come along, see what it's like. And Flag of New Year is no easy shift, like Saturday, Sunday, both almost 10-hour days. And I sent her a thank you message after coming to finals, and she said, honestly, I just love the vibe. I love how friendly everyone is. I love how the camaraderie around the whole thing. And I think that sums up not only Flag, but specifically the WFFL finals as well. Like, it was a wonderful day. It was a spectacular
was.
day, and we both thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was. And I think like the cool thing about it is like, there's the amount of like kids and families and pushchairs and like babies being handed around like past the parcel so that mum can go crush it. Like granny's there holding on, watching the game, but also looking after the wee one so that mum can play sport. And in terms of like women's participation, like that's like so important, right? Like you and I, even as a father yourself, like we don't have that level of personal brain admin to do, and the women do in the sport. And it's, as dudes, it's something that we can be better at. Like if you're as a dude, everyone can certainly be better. If you don't believe that, there's something on Netflix from With Lou Through you can go look at. But we can be, and it's just, I'm glad that everyone is so supportive of each other. Like everyone, like the support networks is there amongst all the teams and across the teams. And obviously we're talking about the top end of the sport and at finals day. And a lot of these guys have now traveled potentially to the USA more than once, to China, to like they've been all over the world together as part of the GB squad. And even the wider performance squad are obviously in Tampa, and there's more stuff with them on the horizon later in the year, leading into World. So they do all know each other, and on the pitch between the whistles, rivalry of the highest degree. But after that, a tremendous environment for everyone. And I don't know if it'll be in Ravenscraig next year. I suspect probably not. I think it will move, but as with all of these things, if you have the opportunity to attend in person, even if you have nothing to do with the teams, you should definitely go. And it's because one, it's a finals day and it's elite sport, and two, it's just ace. And same with how finals have been at Platt Lane. Like if you're a Div 1 team and you didn't make it, turn up at Prem finals day and watch. Like it's still sick. So
was at least 6 of the different youth players that I coached turned up at some point.
Good.
They didn't just like throw a ball around the sideline because football's going on. They actually sat and watched, and they paid attention. And it was really nice to see kids that have influence and told about this game coming to actually observe something that all of them were young boys, and they came to watch the women. 2 of them came up to me after and said, "Who is she? She's great. I want to know who that is, and I want to go and find out about them." Like, it was very heartwarming to see the young men in our sport coming up to support the girls.
Good. And on a very like personal, all about me note, I was having a conversation with Kate Brunvels after their quarterfinal, and I was in the way because they were doing their cool down, and I was invited to join in their cool down. So thank you to the Flame, and thank you to Jocabed in particular, who was leading their cool down. I felt great afterwards. So much appreciated. Yeah, well, I'm thank you for letting me join in, and it was good fun. But yeah, I guess we should talk about the realities of the game day. The Coventry Cougars will open with them unstoppable, dominant, running out of superlatives for them. The way they went around their business that day.
The only way that I can describe what we saw was what I said in the last podcast, and that is a warpath. Absolutely nothing could stop that machine on the day.
And I think what was slightly concerning about it was I don't really think they got out of, like, had they been pushed, I think there was levels to come, and they didn't have to. They will probably push back on that and say, no, it's a national championship game. You can't underestimate anyone, so we went full bore.
Like you could argue this with a lot of points though. Like if you look at the Hornets in the NFFL, we ran hitches most of the game. We ran 11 different plays. You look at the Cougars in the final and the semi-final. I'm pretty sure almost every single drive started with Ellie Thorpe on a defense. And at some point, Mason Conway ran a bunch formation, ran a corner, and these were plays that we've seen over and over again. The big drag along the back of the end field, back in the end zone. What we saw Grace Conway score with in last year's final, it's the stuff that we've seen over and over again. They just executed it to perfection. And again, reiterating what I said in the last podcast that we done, it'll be the first team that makes a mistake that loses, and that's what happened. Because the Cougars didn't make a mistake all day.
Yeah, and also by playing as well as they did, they forced everyone else into mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's the same in any sport. You come out at halftime a couple scores down, you're no longer in control of the game, right? So you have to force it. And then what happens when you force it? Well, they take the ball away. And then before you know it, there's just this avalanche of points. And yeah, they didn't allow a point on the day until the second drive, I think, of the final.
Yep.
When EKP got their first one. But yeah, they really were superb. We spoke about it at length at the end of the stream. We spoke about it. It has been spoken about in the kind of the flag media landscape for the last couple of weeks. They are superb, and barring like, you know, it's number 10. Maybe people call it quits, but I don't know. The core of that team are all looking at something much bigger in a couple of years. So I can't see it. I can't really see the mass exodus, the mass retirement coming. So, like, if you had to do your power rankings, like they're number one. They're early doors favorites for the next year, and it's something that I guess people that have listened to this for a long time will get probably sick of me saying, because I've said it about the Hornets and the HNC before. Like, you're the best team until proven otherwise, and like prove otherwise. Like if someone has to prove otherwise before I believe anything else. So yeah, congratulations to them. We'll hopefully bring you a lot more kind of content and chat with them. But I guess outside of the monumental achievement of the national championship, and it also be the historical context of it being number 10, any other teams that really piqued your interest over the course of the day?
I do need to give a shout out to the Pirates Black. They made me humble pie, and they made me well aware of it after not picking
really.
I was really proud of my Panthers and what they'd done. Game didn't go the way that they wanted to go, obviously.
My Panthers.
My Panthers, no. Yeah, but yeah, honestly, it was all like, regardless of who I picked, like the Pirates took the mick that I didn't pick them. The Cougars let me well aware know that I should have picked them, but it was all in good spirit and it was all in good fun. The Titans looked excellent as well. Erno and Tika played phenomenally. So did Sarah. It was really impressive to see. The only team I wish I got to see a bit more of, and I know they didn't have a quarterback, was the Huntsmen. The Flame battled from start to finish all day as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's only 3 games and 6 slots, and you have to get one team twice because of, you know, we have to get one team twice because like the semi-final becomes the finalist. But yeah, Flame and Huntsman obviously a wee bit disappointed not to get them on the stream. Yeah, I thought the Flame were really interesting. I enjoyed watching what I could of their quarterfinal, kind of while standing between the pitches. That was a good game against Manchester. It seemed semi-final against the Black. The curse of the other pitch continues.
Yep.
In terms of the games we've opened with over the year, basically, no matter which way round we get handed the games, at least one of them will be really close on the other pitch, and that was the case in the semi-final 2-point game come the end of it. But at the same time, there was really no way we could have not shown a national championship rematch.
Yeah, like it's
make that pick. I would make that pick every time, and I think
Oh, of
it's
course, absolutely.
I think it's logical, and I would like to um on that give Scott McDonald a shout out. I pitched him the sideline reporter gig about a week in advance, but in the morning he was like, I still don't really understand what it is. So I played him a couple of clips from. I think I've spoken about it on the show previously. I absolutely love sport on the radio. Five Live Sport is the best invention there ever was. I don't care what the sport is. I don't even care if I don't like the sport. Saturdays listening to Five Live Sports Extra or Five Live Sport is class. Played Scott a few clips of people that do the kind of around the grounds, 90 minutes into 30 seconds. Scott understood the assignment and delivered it well. So it was cool to get the updates from him on that game and on the other two as well. So shout out to him and thank you very much. But yeah, that game was given the quarterfinal last year, and when the draw settled, it was we circled the games that you're interested in, and it's like, damn it, both possible semifinals are circled as potentially thrilling matchups, and
Yeah,
yeah,
after
what a
last year,
cracker.
you'd call that game. Well, that game was an upset. Flame were total unknown. Pirates had just came off the back of a final the year before. Like it was.
Yeah, four seed versus one seed, like everything. The narrative was all there, and
Yeah, like
apple cart upset.
I will be totally honest, and I know I'm going to get ridiculed for this again. I seen it going a different way. I seen the Flame taking that game. Not comfortably, but I seen them taking it given the history from the year before and how well Flame have improved that we could see through the season and how the Pirates finished their season. I just didn't see the Pirates winning it. And I am quite happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah, they pulled it out of the bag, and from what we could kind of look over while Scott was talking, it did look like it did a great game full of had it all, really. Yeah, I think I was gonna kind of I would have probably picked the Flame as a team that I was kind of quietly interested in. Shout out to the Sheffield Giants. They had a bit of a tougher day than they probably were looking forward to. A couple of their players came down injured and unwell, and the night before and unable to travel, which derailed their day. And I know that they were feeling good about putting their best out there, especially in the first round against the Panthers. Coming in, they were they were the 2 seed, 3 seed, but it's still national champion kind of defending national champion underdog story. I think they were keen to have a crack, and you put all the best laid plans, come thudding into player unavailability, and so I hope everyone's feeling better. I hope everyone's recovered. I know that'll sting a bit, I would imagine. So hopefully, I know we'll see them back next year, no doubt,
Of course.
for another run at it. But yeah, just did a bit of a sad feeling in the pit of my stomach when the news kind of filtered through. And as you said before, shout out to the Huntsmen. They're young team, tough draw, and then no quarterback. But I think they were admirable all day. They were
Yeah.
involved in every game. They made every game a contest. They scored. They put up points. Against EKP, they got their score against the Titans, and they never looked beaten, even though
I think
it was stacked against them.
The main takeaway for them is because they've got such a young squad is exposure to finals so that they understand what they're coming into next year. There's going to be a lot of players that hadn't played in a finals day before, so they know what it's like now.
Yeah.
And when they come back next year, they're going to be a bit more versed, hopefully with a quarterback, and be able to do a bit more damage. So the main takeaway from them, despite the results, is the experience and the exposure to the day and how it runs.
For sure. Yeah, like you say, like for a team that young, it's just class that they were there and they took out kind of, they went down with what they had to do and they got on with it, and and it's great for them. And shout out, I guess, on a similar note, like we weren't sure about EK Red and how they would fare, and they were psyched the whole day, and then to make to make the plate final, and obviously the Titans eased away, but in the end, like they were still driving well. They were still,
seeing their celebrations after the win over the Giants was really nice. Like they were buzzing to come away with that win.
And that was a 1 point game as well, right?
Yeah.
So that was unreal, and the photos of that moment are class as well. And shout out to the Katie's got some great ones. Rory's obviously got some great ones. Andy Keith, as always, Chef Andy is just cooking when he says he hates Ravenscraig, but he consistently comes out with art from that venue. And yeah, that moment of the 1 point win was pretty special for them. But yeah, end of the day, Cougars on top, and I'm sure we'll be very interested to see the look of what they do in their so-called off-season, which is during the summer. So I'm sure they'll all be playing, they'll all be doing stuff, they'll all be traveling. And of course, for the core of that team and both the captains, and I guess we should probably start referring to them as the unofficial captains of the podcast, given how often they're on. Grace and Ellie will, I'm sure, be back in blue and white for GB as we look towards the World Championships later in the year as well. So very, very cool. Very cool. And yeah, that brings to an end another British American Football League powered by Union Jack Classic Women's Flag Football League season. Not as slick as it was there.
But Bez, who won the football?
It will never be determined who has officially won the football, because the National Flag Football League kicks off this weekend in Division 1 for 3 tiers for the first time ever. The Premiership and the National will get underway in April, but for some Division 1 teams, you will be about to start this weekend. The HNC is included in that. They're going to be down in Edinburgh, he says with complete confidence. I believe it is Edinburgh for the HNC. But yeah, I haven't done the deep dive on everyone, because it's just been, as we all know, it's just been busy. West Lothian, sorry, it's the West Lothian Astros will be hosting this weekend. My mistake. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Everything this year, I believe, in terms of scores, is being done by League Republic. So we'll kind of have a bash and see how things get on. And I'll do my best to work out which which divisions are playing and stuff by the time we get to the weekend. The one thing that will be slightly different this year is, given the manpower that we the manpower disadvantage that we are at this year, I think it's potentially unlikely that we'll do every score the way we have always done, but we will do every standing as they happen. However, quite frankly, there are more teams than ever. Last year we covered 654 games. I think it was 654. I think it was something like that. Games across the leagues, adding an entire new division to that. It's going to take a little bit of playing with for us to get used to. So, national division we'll do everything for, because that's dead easy, because both Cammy and I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. But both Cammy and I will be playing in the national division. Surprise, I'm back, bitches. So yeah, I'm surprised. For anyone who was unaware of that, I do need to send my email in to ask, though, if that's okay. But yes, I'll be back. So that's dead easy for us. The Premiership will be dead easy because it's the same template as we've always done. It's 4 divisions of 6, so that's easy enough. Div 1, you will have to bear with us, and we will do our level best. So, the call to action, Flag community, is if you are in Division 1, we need your help in order to cover it, because at any given moment, there are something like 2 game days simultaneously in the Prem, 2 game days in the National, each with 6 teams, 4 game days in the Prem, each with 6 teams in it, and in Div 1 is even more nuts. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisions, each with 6 or 7 teams in, all competing. And I don't know if some of them split like how it all works. So the number of games is overwhelming, and each round will be more climactic than the last.
The long and the short of it is, me and Bez are only human, okay? And while we don't want anyone to feel left out, we are endeavouring to do all we can this year. But
So
we need your
we
help.
need help. We need help in Div 1 particularly. Div 1 particularly, scores, gossip, highlights, film, all that stuff that we have been able to get relatively easily. We could do more help with, but as the pyramid grows, it becomes more and more difficult. So give us a shout, basically, if you've got any ideas, or you want to help, or you want to create a spin-off. It's all things we can talk about. You can come under our little umbrella, much like the zebra pen, which I think will be back soon. I'd made that up, but I'm going to put some pressure on Jed. He's probably listened. He's probably just written his car off. So yeah, that's where we're at for the National Flag League. But it is exciting. It is back, and yeah, I mean, as far as we go with Div 1, it's pretty exciting, and I am very much looking forward to seeing how the new 3-tier process works. I know that not all of the kinks have been worked out, much to the chagrin of those involved, but I have to believe that in the end it'll all work itself out. I have to, Cammy. I have to.
I understand why teams want to know. I get it. Who doesn't want to know like who they're coming up against? I understand. Realistically, Bez, tell me, you're playing this weekend and you don't know who your opponents are. Are you going to change your game plan because you don't know what the promotion relegation situation is at the end of the season?
No, not at all. I genuinely promotion relegation, not knowing about what the format is. Is it perfect for this weekend if you're playing? No. Does it make a jot of difference to how I approach the games? No. I know there's been some teams that are like, some division and stuff, and I don't know enough of it to really comment, that are like, our schedule doesn't exist and we don't know who we're playing. That, 100% be angry about that, right? Like, get annoyed, be annoyed about that, because that's not that. But in terms of what do I have to do to get promoted?
I've got an
win
idea.
Games. Win a bunch of games. What do I have to do to get relegated? Lose a bunch of games. You can't get promoted or relegated on week 1, right? And there are teams that have been top of their division after week 1 that have been bottom of their division or bottom half come the end of the season, and vice versa, you know? And even like you look at the Chichester Sharks last year, like we're probably a couple of exams being rescheduled from the Chichester Sharks not being a national team, right? Because half of their team was away doing their A-levels or whatever it was in England. They came back, they lost a bunch of games, they were outside the playoffs, they came back, they won a bunch of games, and now they're in, right? Like, so yeah, is it perfect? No. Will it be sorted out by the time it matters? Yeah. So we can get on with it. So we've definitely got games this weekend, according to the draft. In the Highlands Division 1, we've got games in...
By the draft, we mean the draft schedule. There's not
the draft schedule. Yes, we've got game sent in February. So we've got games in Northern A and Northern B. We've got games. We don't have any games in the Northern C. Northern C? Or you can see how invested I've been in the National and the NFFL over the winter. No games in the Midlands. In the Southwest, we're getting underway. In the Southeast, we're getting underway as well. So everywhere is underway other than Midlands Division 1 and North Sea Division 1. So there will be flag football all over the place. Which is pretty cool, to be honest. Pretty cool. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how things get on. Let's just have a look and see what's going on.
The non-existent off-season goes by so quickly.
Oh, it does. It just disappears. It just absolutely disappears. And there's yeah, there's just nothing you can really do about it other than just get on with it. Get on with getting on. So yeah, good luck to everyone. If you're playing this weekend, it will be pretty cool, and it will be nice to have football back and kind of just see where we end up at the end of the year, really. Because I do think that once the kinks are kind of evened out, I think it will be. I think the new three tier thing, as we said, kind of at the time, makes a lot of sense. It's just obviously, the tweaks are kind of ongoing, shall we say.
If anybody ever thought, with the amount of people that complain about BAFA, if we thought we were going to bring a whole other tier into this and it was going to be a seamless process, you were only lying to yourself. Like, we know there's going to be issues, but they're going to be fixed. It's going to be fine. You're going to get to play flag and you're going to have fun. Shut up and enjoy it.
What was that I said the other day in the group chat? Shut up and snap the ball. Stop moaning, snap the ball. Yes. But in order to make it fun, we are going to introduce a new segment, and coming soon, there will be some a couple of little drops, some audio jingles to go with it. But yes, the basic aim of the game is it's called Hitch and Go, and it's basically overreaction day of the week that we are recording, in this case Tuesday, overreaction Tuesday. So we'll take it in turns over the season and over the year. Maybe we won't do it every 2 weeks, but we'll make it a regular thing.
Chip it in.
It's called Hitch and Go. So basically a hitch is Cammy. Today Cammy's going to read a take to me. These are completely blind. As much as we do, relatively speaking, plan out the conversation topics, the topics that Cammy has today are completely blind. So I don't know what they are. A hitch is basically, I think he's overreacting. Not going to take that. And the go is he's bang on, and I'll take him for all he's worth. Okay? So, in absence of a jingle, Cammy Wilson, maybe we can add a little bit. Cammy Wilson.
Point 1. The Reading Devils will make the national final this year.
As in the final four or the final game?
The final.
The final?
The final.
I think I'm going to hitch. I'm going to hitch on that. However, I will caveat this with, as I said earlier on, that's what will probably be my catchphrase is until proven otherwise. If their on-field game is as good as their social media recruitment game, then undoubtedly you're correct. I just think that the other established teams still have to be knocked off. And other than one game in the regular season a couple of years ago, they've not quite proven that they're there.
Interesting.
But brand new team with a load of new dudes who can all ball, who are all super excited, who are all super keen, who are all ready to make a point. I don't think it's far off. If it had been Final Four, I would have absolutely taken it. I would have hands down bitten your arm off. Final game itself in a 12-team national where there's not been a snap played yet and it's all new. Rough. However, the only other thing I'll say is I haven't looked at the schedule yet. I really hope we don't have them on the Sunday of Super Weekend because I can't be arsed with that. At least let us get them fresh, because you just know that we're going to go down there with like 7 guys. So like, just like give me, let me have them when we've still got legs.
Fair enough.
That's a good one. That's a good start. That is a good start. I like that. Well done. Well done.
Okay. Point 2. Okay. NFL players will grasp the basic concept of flag rules before the Olympics.
Go with that. Absolutely. Right now, and this is not. And to be fair, this is just a hill that I have died on since the announcement. Flag players are better at flag than non-flag players, right? This weekend proved that beyond a doubt. And was I being an absolute menace on the live stream as the podcast on Saturday night? Yes, I was, including asking salty American football fans in the comments when Tom Brady was getting belt to ass. His team was getting beaten by 30 for the second time. This guy's your GOAT. This guy, right? Right? This guy, he played in Super Bowl? What are you talking about? This guy? Right? Saturday's matches were a vindication for what everyone in flag football has been saying for years.
That Odell Beckham has still got it. Sorry, no, that's just me and Matt Burke. Apologies.
That's just the Giants truthers, right? And I give you the floor on that one. Like in a one-off game, then yes, absolutely that was going to happen. The question becomes, if you take an NFL player and integrate them into flag for the next 2 years, could some of them make the team? Yes, absolutely, right? However, can they do that for 2 years with their professional contracts in the NFL? No, they probably can't, right? Gronk is retired, tore his hamstring. Fine. Can you imagine, right, if Joe Burrow had torn his hamstring in that game?
Or
right?
the amount of people freaking out about the way he was
Jalen Hurts, right? If like they're paying that man hundreds of millions of dollars to do his job for the Cincinnati Bengals, right? Now, one, the Bengals are trash, who cares? But two, Joe seems like a nice guy and he's been paid a lot of money to do that. If he breaks himself playing in flag, I don't know. Like, I just don't think that a professional NFL team will allow that. Not for one of their stars. Combined with the rules that only one player from a team can do it, I just don't think it's likely. So if the question is, could they learn the rules and get a spot on the team by LA? Yeah, of course they could, if they really wanted it. Will they?
Probably not.
I just don't see it. I don't see it right now. I don't see it right now.
Good take. I like it.
However, I was having so much fun. I was having so much fun on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Deliberately being a menace. Outside of roughly tea time on Saturday till mid-morning on Sunday. Outside of that, very welcoming, family show, everyone's welcome and flag, on you come, right? that 24-hour period was very much a have you seen the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Jake Peralta has to pretend he's leaving on like bad terms and he just walks out being like, and your mother, and your mother, and your mother. That was the mood I was in. That was the mood I was in.
Love it.
Vindicated.
I like that.
Thank you.
Point 3, which I think you're going to hate.
Oh, yes. Get it. Get me.
Will a 2025 Division 1 team win the 2026 Prem? Because there has been a lot of chatter from a couple of teams about storming this league, and I would like to bring this to the national audience's attention.
So 2020, that was last year. So 2025, top half of D1 last year. So you're looking at Huntsman,
Nomads, Storm,
and they're in a league with teams. Okay, I need the graphic, and this actually is a wider. I'm going to slightly stall while I go back and look at the graphic so I can work out who those teams are. But this is a slightly wider discussion around like I think this year is going to be totally volatile. Like I genuinely think this year will be a settling year. There'll be teams that maybe just missed out on being a Prem team that are going to smash Div 1. There's teams that are maybe only just made it into the Prem, maybe wish they didn't. There's going to be there's going to be all of that. So who is in the Premier Division? So we've got Border City Centurions, Mustangs, Newcastle Blackhawks, Renfrewshire Raptors, West Lothian Chargers, Huntsmen, Titan Bees, Scorpions, Steel, Revs, Serpents, Bandits, Sharks, Rebels, Spark, Nomads, VPP, Diablos. That's a filthy division, that. Storm, Phoenix, Panthers, Titans, Hammerheads, Bucks, Wolves. 15-game season, double round robin and cross conference. Okay, so Division 1 teams last year: Centurions, Mustangs, Raptors, Huntsmen, Titans, Bees, Steel, Revs?
Yes.
Revs, Serpents. Bandits were Prem.
Bandits were Prem.
Okay, and then don't get me wrong, Rebels Spark division is class. Nomads were obviously did well. VPP did well. Diablos are there. Sharks are there, and then Storm, Wolves, Titans. So when you say, so you think, oh, we'll win the Prem, like
We'll win the Prem. Yes. Not their league, not their division. We'll win.
we'll be crowned division. We'll be crowned Premiership champions in Butts Park in Coventry in September. That's rough because like that's like that is a genuine 50-50 like coin toss because literally half the teams were Div 1 teams last year, right? Okay. I think that the Blackhawks are an honorary HNC team. Love that. Centurions, they're also an honorary HNC team. Welcome. First off, welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. We will be moving the dotted line on the map south. You're welcome. Join us in, right? Little annexation of Puerto Rico there. So first off, welcome to them. Second off, if the Blackhawks don't win that division, they should all retire immediately.
Out.
Maybe the same. They were really good last year. Div 1. They were really good last year.
Who else is in?
Scorpions, Steel, Revs, Serpents, and Bandits.
They'd be tied in with the northern ones. Ow.
Yeah, so I think they must be the
northernmost southern team.
I actually have no idea where Leicester is. But yeah, I guess so. They must be they're in that little cluster. So they're in the north team. Maybe. Yeah. I think in the Northern Prem it should be Blackhawks and Huntsmen are the top two. And if it's only 4, I don't know the format. I should have done my research. I'm going to hitch, right?
Okay.
Cowardly. It's a cowardly hitch, right? It's because the DB's given me like 6 yards. So I'm just going to hitch for now until I have evidence that I can beat him. I think that's a unreal question because I genuinely have no clue. You've done very well there, mate.
Cannot wait to open the Discord after this opens and get.
You've done very well because to me the South is amazing, right? Like the South, you could argue. I mean, the Rebels and the Spark should be all over that South A division. Tiger Sharks, it depends on how they move. That's a big club. It depends on how they move people around. You know, Nomads will be happy to be in there. VPP lost a couple of guys either way, so we'll see how they go. Diablos as well, like Reading have grown to a point now that are there players that played up last year who now are now playing Prem ball, who may have like finals
the fringe
experience
players from last year.
Right, so that's always an interesting dynamic. Storm, I don't really know much about how the Storm stack up with kind of Phoenix Panthers, Titans Blue, but there's enough Prem experience and at least in terms of the Northants Titans finals experience in that team.
Yeah,
that's the head-to-head that I would be interested in kind of right now. So I think there's as always every year of the 24 teams, there's a group of 6 to 8 that could all make the Final Four, and then if they make the Final Four, go for it. People are being very closely guarded with recruitment if people have moved in, if people have moved out. So I certainly wouldn't rule out, but to say here without a shadow of a doubt in my mind that a Div 1 team from last year will win the Prem, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that. I may be ready in midsummer. I may be ready to say that in midsummer, but right now, before a down of football is saved, I don't think I'm quite ready to be that bold.
You're not taking the early stock?
So, no, I'm not taking any Prem stocks. I am not taking any, and I'm certainly not taking any Div 1 stock. My pension is too valuable and things get more expensive by the day. So, see people come here for the current affairs. So, yeah, I think that's good. That's a good one. That was 3 good questions there.
Thank you,
Cammy. Well done. Well done.
Considering you sprung that on me like 6 hours ago, I'm quite happy with that one.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Who says we're not organised?
Yeah, I think that's a good segment. I think we do that. We'll do that again. We'll do
I like
that again.
I cannot wait for the memes that come out of it when we get proven wrong by something that we said in
Happy
6
to
months'
be proven
time.
wrong. Happy to
Only
be proven
if
wrong.
they post them on their
Only,
socials.
yeah, that is the rules. If you're gonna make memes, they have to go publicly on social media, and you have to tag us so we can share them. That's the crucial part. If you don't tag us, so we can't share them, then it never existed. So, as always, yeah, and I'll maybe clip that whole segment for YouTube and let us know what you think of it, because that was fun. I'm looking forward to hitting you back now next time. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, I think that is everything on the agenda.
Quick one. I had a very, 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 very intriguing call with Mr. Casper Finnegan, the GB team psychologist. I know a lot of people have been waiting for the videos that I've been promising. I just genuinely wanted to get my information right and my facts right before anything. And me and him sat on the phone for about an hour earlier, just going through what I was thinking of posting, bouncing ideas off each other. So first off, huge thank you to him. He has been an immense help for me, and hopefully the first video will be out on Thursday.
Yes.
We are slightly going away from the script that I originally had, but this is
On
all
brand.
about
On brand.
yeah. This is all about education and trying to enlighten people and help people, and ultimately that's what I want to do. So that should be out Thursday. Yeah, I'm really excited actually. It's quite nerve-wracking talking about these sorts of things, quite sensitive subjects that can be very delicate to people. As I've said before, if I can help one person, I'm willing to do it. So yeah, Thursday is the day. This is Tuesday. That should happen on Thursday.
Yes. Nice. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one, and keep an eye out for everything else that happens, and we'll keep an eye out for your memes, messages, and DMs, because we do like to hear what everyone has been up to. And just there, pretty much bang on the hour mark, we will end our show. If you are competing this weekend in Division 1, good luck. Hopefully we'll hear from you and we'll see the first scores come in, the first standings, and we'll start to take shape for the rest of the year. And then before we know it, in a blink of an eye, it'll be September, and it'll be National Flag Football League finals, and we'll powered by Union Jack Classic, and we'll see.
It just gets less and less smooth each time.
Less and less enthusiastic, doesn't it? After I was feeling myself with the goodbye on the live stream, and I think that's probably the best one we'll ever get.
It was good. You know,
but it was good. It was good. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for making us a part of your week. And we will see you again soon. It's goodbye from Cammy.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from me. Thank you very much for listening. That is the way we HNC it.